How's it going, YouTube? This vlog is going to be a little bit different than my previous ones. You're going to hear a lot more commentary from me on this one. Let me know in the comments if this is something you're a fan of, or if you prefer my other videos, or if you like them both. Be sure to hit the like button, make sure it turns blue, and then subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Closing in on 100 subs, so let's see if we can get there with this video. In an effort to keep mixing things up for my channel, my dad and I did a little funky scramble. We did what he told me is called a shamble. We select the best tee shot out of our two and then play our own ball in from there. At the end of the hole, we take the best score. So basically, it's a select drive best ball. A little bit of teamwork, a little bit of individual work. Not quite as easy as a scramble, but not as hard as just playing straight up by yourself. A little bit of both. It definitely made for a fun round. Playing on the backside here out at Falconhead in Austin, Texas, my tee shot went off to the right in the woods. Dad's found the left bunker, so we went with the one that's in play. Both our approach shots ended up on the green, Dad with about 45 feet and me with about 15 feet. But it wouldn't really matter how close I was because this legend rolled in this monster birdie putt. Great way to start off the round, and he did that all by himself since we ended up using his drive to start off. Wouldn't be the last time he had one of those types of holes. By the way, my dad's name is Mike, so when you spam the comments below with how much he carried the team, you can call him out by name. Second hole is just a short par 3 down the hill, and honestly I'm super jealous of these houses on the left here because if I lived in one of those houses, I would just spend all day out here on this par 3. Just all day until I could get a hole in one. Both of us ended up making the green, but ended up going with mine just because it was a little bit closer and slightly uphill, and so we thought that that would be a little bit easier to roll in the birdie. Unfortunately, I miss it on the low side, and then Dad misses it on the high side, but ended up walking away with the par, able to get the comebacker for par, so not too upset about that. Red figures still going into the third hole, and I mean, when you're in red figures at any point during your round, even if it's a scramble, just a two-person scramble, I mean, I'm still happy about that, so not upset. Moving into a par 5, both of us are long hitters, so we're thinking that we have a chance to get on this green and under regulation if we can just give ourselves a chance off the tee, which we kind of do. Both of us go off a little bit to the right. Again, end up going with mine just because it's a little bit more of a straight line to the pin. However, I'm not able to get it close to the green. I end up hitting it about pin high just off to the right up on the hill. Had a little bit of a tricky downhill shot you'll see coming up here, and Dad got so unlucky here with this shot because it was just a rocket right at the pin and ended up hitting in the top of the greenside bunker and rolled back in to the bunker. So both of us had to scramble to try and get a shot at birdie. Like I said, mine's a little bit downhill, tricky, kept it on the green though, so pleased about that. Dad blasted it out of the bunker and ended up with about 15 feet left for birdie. He was just a little bit outside, so he'd go first. And once again, doesn't matter how close I am because he was just on fire with his putter. Rolled in another birdie, gets us to -2 through 3. I mean, that's the kind of playing partner you want right there. Not me. I mean, I got us in play off the tee, but I want the guy that's finishing putts, rolling in those long ones. That's what really counts in a scramble or in a shamble. On the next hole, I end up going with my 3-wood, hit a little baby draw in the fairway, but just behind that tree. Dad goes with the driver and blasts it way past mine. So, I mean, that's what I needed him to do. I put it in play, and then he hits it further. So we had a little bit closer of a shot. He hit his approach shot onto the front of the green, and I would not hit mine onto the green. In fact, if I was playing this hole by myself, this is where the tuba music would come out because I got in the bunker and then I hit it really thin out of the bunker way over the green, and yeah, just not my best effort on this hole, but luckily I got a teammate who's on the green putting for birdie, and we'll see if he can save me here. So he's not able to roll in this long birdie as well. I guess you can only have so many in a round, but his putter is still hot, so it feels like any time that he putts the ball, it's got a shot to go in. Going on to the next hole, par 5, and it's a little bit of a tricky one. It's pretty narrow, and he misses it out to the right, so I decide to pull out my 3-wood. I feel pretty good about it, especially after the ball I hit on the last hole, and I snap it left. I'm in someone's backyard, basically, and so this is the lie that we end up having to go with. Neither of us had too great of a shot, and so we went with the one that was further up and off in this stuff. I don't know how he did it, but he hit a little baby draw off of this. I hit it pretty straight too, so like, you know, just a little layup for us both. It's all we could manage with the tee shot that we dealt ourselves. And so now just a little bit of a flip wedge, try and give ourselves to have a couple shots at birdie. And that's exactly what we do. We both give ourselves a shot at birdie. And if you've watched this part of the video, you can guess whose shot was a little bit closer. And that's this guy. He is just so on fire with everything. But if I can't make this, my goal is to at least give him a read. And I don't make it. I leave it just a little bit short. Tap in for the par. And so we're in for par. And no reason for him to leave his birdie putt short as well, since we already got the par. Boom, what do you know? Another birdie for this guy. Again, all by himself because we used his tee. So -3 through 5 holes. That is pretty good golf if you ask me. Next hole is arguably the hardest hole on the course, this par 4 into the wind, and it's also super narrow again. So probably shouldn't have gone with driver, but since it was into the wind, we really needed to. Our balls ended up basically right next to each other, and I swear this ball basically made that exact flight path that we drew right there. I was so confused on how that happened. I've never seen a ball do that didn't have a huge cut in it, and the ball didn't. But at this point, I'm thinking we're pretty much relying on my dad on this hole, and that's essentially what we end up doing. He ends up being a little bit short, and for my third, I was basically just trying not to fall back into this into the water. Ended up putting mine a little bit short of the green. I missed the next 2 shots with the camera, so my shot and his shot. So this is for his par. This is his 4th shot. Ended up chipping it to here. It was a great chip to get to this point, honestly. And the putter is just not there. So disappointing to walk away with a bogey, but considering what we started off with on that hole, I think that we'll take that. Right here, this shot. Amazing shot from him, and he was actually really upset with that in the air. He thought he completely missed that. Now me, on mine, I knew I completely missed mine, as you can see from the club drop. Couldn't even watch it land. I was so disgusted with it.
This guy was upset with his shot.
Yeah, it was a miss of sort, but don't hate it.
Yeah, can't really hate that. 202 yards to the green, or 202 yards to the pin. And it's just pin high, 10 feet away.
So my dad, once again playing lights out golf, gave us a great opportunity to get a birdie. He ends up missing it on the high side, which is the correct side to miss it on. And again, this is the second time I do it. I miss it on the low side. It had plenty of speed, it just not the right line. So disappointing to have 2 par 3s where we have really good shots at birdie. And like inside 10 feet, and we miss them both. But short par 4 for hole 17, 360 yards downhill. So dad pulling out a driver here and hitting it well. I mean, there's really nothing that I can do here to improve upon that, because he can still hit it further than me, as much as it pains me to say. So he hit a bomb. It was just about trying to get a good swing in, and that's what I did. But still, just going to go with his shot because it was awesome. And we had this little flip wedge into the green. And so he hits his just a little bit past the pin, a little bit long. And I just go a little bit short and to the left. But all in all, not terrible shots. We definitely would have liked to get closer, but we're both on the green and both have a shot at putting this in for birdie. So Dad goes first. He ends up being just a little bit short. Taps that in for the par, and then I have this long putt left for birdie, and I gave it a good run at it. Honestly, I'm pretty pumped with it. Just lipped out. That is so frustrating. I really needed that. I felt like if that was gonna roll in, that was just gonna make my day, but couldn't make it happen. Disappointing, but still an awesome putt. Can't be upset from that distance. Ended up on hole 18, pulling out the driver, and finally smoked my drive. A little baby draw, what I've been hoping for all day. Just absolutely crushed it. And even with a good drive here, we still probably would have been going with mine just because I had a lot of anger behind that ball. It was a long day, and so I hit it pretty hard. So end up using a pitching wedge here. Ended up going to the right of the green. Pin is in the back left. I'm on the front right, so I have about as long of a putt as you can have on this course. That ends up going more in a direct line to the pin, but goes a little bit short and ends up in the bunker. So he's got to get up and down for his par, and not gonna do it. So it's up to me finally. Pressure on. Can I actually contribute something to the team? And this 80-foot putt I have, probably my best putt of the day, best shot of the day. 80 feet to drop it within 3 feet. I mean, that was amazing. Dad definitely helped out a lot there with the read, and yeah, it was just a great way to finish off. And you can see I barely touched that ball. Left for the par down the hill. Ended up making it, finishing off with a 34. Really fun round.
Mike. Yeah, nice play with you. It was a lot of fun.